It's Tuesday noon. We're gonna do yoga. So this is my last free workout. I did 4 last week, workout yesterday. This is my last free yoga session. If you guys are tuning in on Instagram or Facebook, again, just a reminder, if you could like or comment, let me know that you can hear me, that the video's working, the audio's working. Cool, Facebook looks like it's good, and let's just make sure that Instagram's all good and everyone can hear me on there. Okay, awesome. It's really weird when I go close like that, hey, but it's hard to see the comments. Cool. Okay, there's people on Instagram and Facebook, so I'm good on both. So, as I mentioned, today is the last free yoga session. I decided to turn these free workouts into a monthly membership, and I want to just tell you really quickly about it, and then I'm going to include a link in Facebook after the video, and I'll add it to my profile on Instagram if you guys are interested in more information. So Motivated Movement monthly membership is launching today. Very quick pivot in my business, and what it is a monthly group. We're going to get together and we're going to do workouts together. So you're going to have access to 6 live workouts: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 a.m., 6 p.m. You can start your day off with an awesome workout. You can finish your workday with a workout. And on Saturdays at 10 a.m., there's going to be yoga. So you can join me live. There'll be a video link. The awesome part is that now you guys can just see me, but the way that I'm setting this up, it's going to be a group, it's going to be a community. So I'll be able to see you guys too. We'll be able to connect in a time when we're really being forced to physically distance ourselves from people. If you don't want to be on video, you have full control. You can turn the video off on your side. You don't have to be. But if you're like me, you're a people person, you want to see people's faces, you want to connect, then there's that opportunity as well. And it also gives me the chance to just see you, and I can maybe give you some form corrections, tell you if you could turn your back a little bit or squat in a little bit a different manner, be able to be a little bit more interactive. So the workouts are live. They're Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 a.m., 6 p.m., yoga on Saturday at 10. But if you can't make those times, there's an online portal and you'll be able to access the workouts for the week. So on Monday, if you can't make the 6 a.m. workout, you can log in whenever you like, find that workout, do it on your own, and it'll be live. It'll be, the video will be available for 7 days until the next Monday workout comes in, and then I'll replace it with the new workout. All the workouts will be about 40 to 60 minutes. They'll include a warm-up and a cool down. For these live ones, I've just been jumping right into the workout, but they're gonna be a little bit more structured in the membership. So this will allow you guys to have some form of regular schedule, some normality in this crazy life. Everything that we knew before is like upside down. And so in times of chaos, when anxiety is high, it's really good to find little elements of routine, of schedule, of things that we can kind of like anchor ourselves on. It helps to bring stress down. It helps to bring anxiety down. So that's what I'm hoping to provide with these workouts. And obviously an opportunity to move your body to feel better physically and mentally, because I know that that is what so many people need. And especially if you're used to moving and being out and going to classes and stuff, well, if you take that out of your life, it really does have a jarring impact. So you're also going to have the opportunity to sweat and laugh with me. They're going to be fun workouts. They're going to be casual in my home. I might even get some of my friends who are instructors to teach some classes. So you get a little bit of variety. You get a different format from different instructors. So you can keep things interesting, and you get to support a small business. Okay, so what else do I need to let you know? All of the workouts are either going to be body weight, dumbbell, or like stuff you have in your home. And if you don't have something, then there'll be modifications or alternates given. I think those are like the overview. The pricing, it's going to be $79 a month if you sign up by the end of this month. Regular is $99. And if for some reason you've been financially affected by COVID, I know a lot of us have been, and you can't afford that, please contact me directly. I don't want the price point to be a barrier for anyone to participate. So if that's something that doesn't work for you right now, please send me a message and we'll sort it out. Again, at the end of this work, at the end of yoga, I will put a link on Facebook, and I will update my Instagram profile with a link for the Motivated Movement monthly membership. And I would love to have you guys join me. I think it's going to be super fun. I think, we have to get creative and find ways to connect and keep life going in this crazy time. And I hope that I can provide that opportunity for you guys around movement and fitness. Okay, so we're doing yoga today. We're gonna start, I'm gonna move back onto our mat in a comfortable seated position. So you're gonna just either cross-legged, kneeling, whatever feels most comfortable. We're gonna do a little bit more on Saturday's yoga. I really kept it like seated mostly. We're gonna do like maybe like the next level yoga. It's still gonna be super beginner. It's still for like non-bendy people. Everything is modifiable. And as always, you can always go into child's pose or corpse pose, whatever you need to do on your mat. The important thing is that you're sectioning this time off away from work, hopefully away from your kids, from your partner, whoever's in your home, and just from life, just to like focus on yourself and breathe. Okay, so let's put a little bit music on in the background. Find a comfortable seated position. And you can either close your eyes or just gaze softly towards the ground. You're gonna take a couple deep breaths just to ground here in this moment. Just feel your breath start to slow. As you inhale, feel your spine lengthen from your tailbone all the way out through the crown of your head. Your shoulders roll down and back. Your hands are softly onto your knees. And we're going to pause here. Well, we're going to stay exactly where you are. You're going to keep focusing on your breath, and you're going to just think about a few things that you're really grateful for. If you're watching this video, you probably have your health. It might not be in perfect condition, but you have it enough to sit, to watch, to listen, to breathe. You probably have a comfortable home around you with heating and electricity. You may have a really great network of supportive family and friends, although maybe you can't physically be with them at the moment. They're there. Let's take 5 more deep breaths. And with each inhale, I want you to think about something you're grateful for. It can be those same things I just mentioned, or you can find your own 5 new things. Let's take 1 deep breath together. Exhale all of the air out of your lungs. Feel your belly button pull in gently. And then we're going to take a deep inhale. Fill up the base of our lungs. Feel our chest puff up. 1 more little sip of air up into the back of our throat. And then slowly exhale. And then if your eyes are closed, you can keep them closed actually. You can do the whole class with your eyes closed and just listen to my verbal cues. You don't need to be looking at me. Totally up to you. We're gonna start, we're gonna bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. We're gonna take a deep inhale. And then we're gonna exhale and let the head fall heavy towards the chin, towards the chest. And then as you come around to the left, take an inhale and pause. And then exhale back through center. Inhale over to the right and exhale through center. You're just gonna go with the pacing of your breath, inhaling when your ear's over your shoulder and exhaling as your head hangs heavy towards your midline. And then the next time your left ear is over your left shoulder, we're gonna pause here for a moment. So pull your shoulders back if you've kind of sunk forward a little bit. Chest is proud. Inhale, and then exhale, just gentle, gentle ear towards the shoulder. If you like, you can bring your left hand up and over towards your ear and apply gentle pressure. This hand here, my right hand that's on my thigh, I'm gonna just move that onto the ground to elongate through the side of the neck and the shoulder. And then either, if you don't have your hand on your ear, or your head, that's fine. You can just tilt and look towards your armpit. If your hand is on your head, you're gonna grab just at the back of your head, kind of where it bulbs out, and gentle pressure as you pull your nose towards your armpit. One more breath. And then if your hand is behind your head, you're going to gently release that down to the ground. We're going to take a deep breath here with the ear over the shoulder. And then you're going to exhale and let your head fall forward and come over to the right side. Pausing here. Same thing, you can just keep your head, your ear towards your shoulder, feel the nice stretch on the left side, or your right hand can come up, gentle pressure, and then slightly pull the ear towards the shoulder. Place your hand behind your head. You're going to turn your nose towards your armpit and then exhale and gentle pressure on the back of the head. One more breath. And then as you exhale, release that arm down. Take a deep inhale here. And then exhale, let your head fall to center and then come back up, stacking your head on top of your spine. Let's take an inhale, bring the shoulders up, and exhale, release them down. So we're gonna extend the left leg. Extend it out to the side. The right foot's gonna be in towards the inner thigh. And we're gonna turn our torso towards the left. We're gonna take a deep inhale, rise the arms up, and then as you exhale, lean forward towards this foot. So I personally have very tight hamstrings. I keep a gentle bend in the knee, and my hands are just on my shin. You just reach to wherever you can. If you can reach your toe, go for your toe, and if you can't, don't worry about it. So at the beginning, we're gonna keep the spine long. We're gonna inhale, feel our crown of our head go up towards the ceiling, and then as you exhale, your chest comes towards the thigh ever so slightly, keeping your back straight. One more deep inhale. And this time as you exhale, you can let your back round, let your head be heavy. It can roll towards your knee. Again, keep a bend in the knee if the stretch is quite intense in the back of the thigh. And then on your next inhale, just gently drag your arms back to center. We're gonna turn our torso back to neutral and then extend the right leg, left leg in at the thigh. So sitting nice and tall, inhale, rotate towards the right thigh. Inhale, rise the arms up, and then exhale, fold forward. You might find that one side is tighter than the other. That's super, super normal. Our body, even though we think it should be symmetrical, it's not. There's always differences left to right. So just bring your hands to whatever spot feels natural and good for you. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. Feel your sit bones connected to the ground. Exhale, torso comes ever so slightly towards your thigh. on the next exhale, you can let your head be heavy, round towards the ground. And then as you inhale, come back through center, hands drag towards you. We're gonna bring the knee in. If it's okay on your knees, we're just gonna rotate over onto all fours into, we're gonna come into some cat-cow. If that doesn't feel good on your knees, however you need to get up onto your hands and knees. I'm just gonna turn a bit so you guys can see me this way. So fingers are spread wide, directly underneath your shoulders, toes are tucked, and knees are underneath your hips, hip distance apart. We're gonna do some cat-cow. So we're gonna start taking a deep breath in. Inhale, looking up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, you're gonna tilt your pelvis down towards the ground. Feel that ripple effect through your spine as you press through your shoulder blades and look towards your belly button. Inhale, start with the crown of the head. Reach forward, pull your shoulder blades down your back. Tail tilts up towards the ceiling. And follow your breath here. Exhale, start with the pelvis. Looking towards your belly button, pressing through your shoulder blades, and then inhale, starting with the crown of the head. Few more nice, deep, slow breaths. And then on your next exhale, come through center. Right now my knees are hip distance apart. I'm gonna walk them a little bit more closely together and keep the toes tucked. And then I'm gonna come back and come up onto my toes. So my weight is back over my heels. So I'm getting a nice stretch through the arch of my feet, maybe the back of your ankles. And I'm just gently putting my pressure back onto my toes. If it's too much, you can ease off at any time. We're gonna use our arms here and just focus on our breath as we let this stretch settle into the feet. So we're gonna inhale, bring up, exhale, turn your palms away, let that breath float away. Inhale, send the oxygen all the way to the base of the lungs, and exhale, down. Let's do 3 more deep breaths. If it gets too much, you can untuck your toes. And 1 more deep breath. Come forward onto your hands, gently untuck the toes, maybe give them a little bit of a tap on the ground. They need to kind of get some blood flowing back into them if they're feeling tingly. And then you can keep your toes, the tops of your feet flat onto the ground. We're gonna do a stretch through the front of the forearms. I imagine a lot of people are working at home, working on their computers, so let's stretch out the arms. We're gonna turn the palms, the top of it, towards the ground here, and then we're just gonna lean back and stretch as much as is comfortable. So don't make it too intense. Don't get to the point where your shoulders are up at your ears. My spine is nice and long, and I'm just, as I exhale, ever so slightly leaning back and stretching through the forearm. Let's do 2 more deep breaths. And then you can lean forward, gently untuck one hand and then the other. And then we're gonna come up into down dog. If down dog doesn't feel good for you, or that's too hard on your shoulders or your wrists, you can make your way up into standing, and we'll just meet in a mountain pose, standing with your palms facing towards the front of the room. If you're okay with down dog, fingers spread wide. Toes tucked, we're gonna press through the heel, or through the toes, sorry, send the bum up high and come up into down dog. You can do a gentle walking of the dog. Again, I'll just turn to the side for you guys. So walking the heels towards the ground, nice stretch through the back of the calves. And then we're gonna walk our feet up to meet our hands. So we'll pause here in a forward fold. If you're standing because the down dog wasn't great for you and you're okay in a forward fold, you can join us. We're gonna pause here for about 3 or 4 breaths. Let's grab opposite elbows. Take a deep inhale, feel the back of the body fill up. And then as you exhale, let your head be heavy. Let's nod the head yes and no. Open and close the mouth. Release any tension around the jaw. Maybe a few audible sighs. As you exhale, it helps to just release residual tension that's in the body. One more deep inhale and exhale. And then we'll slowly unfold up into standing, stacking your vertebrae one at a time until you get up into a standing position. Roll the shoulders back and then standing forward. So we're gonna pause here for a moment. Few deep breaths. Let's focus mentally back on 1 or 2 of the things that you started the practice with around gratitude. Let's bring our attention back to that. So we're gonna go into 3 sun salutations. The first one I'm gonna walk through really slowly in case you don't know what a sun salutation is. If you do know what it is and you wanna flow at your own pace with your breath, feel free. And sun salutation includes some down dog. So if that wasn't a good option for you for your wrists, do what you can. You can always just do a standing mountain pose into a forward fold and back up. Whatever you're doing is perfect and exactly what you should be doing for your own yoga practice. Remember, it's a benefit that you can't see everyone else doing the yoga with you because you really just have to focus in on yourself. Okay, so if you want to flow with me, you're going to step towards the front of your mat if you're not there already. I'm kind of cut off on Facebook. There we go. I'll step back a second. Okay, so we're going to take a deep breath in, bring the arms overhead, and then as you exhale, fold forward with a nice flat spine. Bring your hands down towards the ground. From here, we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine away from the tailbone, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Find the ground and then step back into a high plank. So from here for the first one, we're gonna drop the knees and then we're slowly gonna bring the chest down towards the ground. And then we're gonna inhale into a baby cobra. Exhale down, tuck the toes, press through the knees, back up into down dog, pausing for 1 breath. Looking forward towards your hands, step forward, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold, inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, exhale, bring the hands to center. Okay, so that is the basic variation, or the basic movement through a sun salutation. You can stay with that movement. I'm gonna do that movement. If you are more practiced in your yoga practice and you know the other variations in terms of coming down in a high plank and then up into upward dog, you're welcome to do that. Because I anticipate that most people following me are at a beginner, more entry-level yoga. I'm not gonna do that variation, but if you want to do that yourself, you're welcome to. So we're going to do 2 more flows together, okay? So let's release the arms down. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into high plank, drop the knees, and then bring your torso gently down towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, or come down, and then press back into down dog. Pausing for 1 breath. Looking forward towards your hands, step forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center and pause. And one more round. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, find the ground, step back into high plank, knees down, lower down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Step back, push your hips back into down dog, pausing for one breath. Looking forward towards your hands, stepping forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep those arms all the way up. And exhale, bring them to center. And let's just take a moment, focus back to our gratitude. Feel all that oxygen, the blood pumping through your body. It feels so good to move your body, to stretch it, to waken it up. Okay, release your hands. They can come down at your side. If you're not at the front of your mat, you can step towards the front of your mat. We're gonna step back into Warrior Two. So we did this on the other yoga video. If you guys watched it, big step back, most of the distance of the mat. Turn to the side. My back foot, so I stepped back with my left foot, my right foot's forward. If you did the other side, it's fine, we're gonna do both sides. Your front heel should intersect your back, the middle arch, the arch of your back foot. Your front knee's bent, you're leaning into it, you should be able to see the big toe on the front foot. You're gonna inhale, reach your arms out, and we're gonna exhale, and we're gonna pause here for a few breaths. So my vision is just gently over the middle finger. I'm reaching away from the midline of my body, but I'm still keeping my shoulders really relaxed. Sometimes when we reach, we get tense. So there's like this power, this strength in reaching, but there's a grace through your middle body, through your shoulders. You inhale and you lengthen, you exhale and you sink into that stretch. One more deep breath. Then we're gonna keep our front knee bent where it is. This front arm is gonna come onto the thigh or straight here. And then this back arm is gonna reach up into extended side angle. So nice stretch up the side of the body. I'm thinking about the edge of my foot near the pinky. That whole line is connected to the ground and then it's lengthening up through my body, up and over. Your arm might be here. For me, see how I'm rotated my shoulders forward? I'm better here. Let's breathe 3 more times together here. Inhale, exhale. Take a deep breath in. Make sure you're keeping length along both sides of your torso. Don't kind of collapse into it. On your third exhale, back up into Warrior Two. We'll sink here for one breath. Then your hands can come to your hips. We're gonna pivot on the back foot and step forward. I'm gonna step back with my right foot and do the same thing. You're gonna do the opposite in case you're on a different foot than me. So we'll do it this way. Let's take a big step back. Warrior Two. Front heel intersects the back foot. Nice wide stance. Make sure you can see the big toe. Inhale, lengthen the arms. Exhale, sink. Gazes over the front finger, the middle finger on the front hand. Lengthening upwards and outwards, and then settling through your mid-body as you exhale. Two more deep breaths. And then we're keeping that front knee exactly the way it is. You're either gonna bend this elbow, keep it on your thigh, or extend the arm and reach up and overhead. Really nice stretch through the side of the body. Focusing on your breath. If it feels like your breath is restricted, come up a little bit. You shouldn't compromise your breath at the benefit of the stretch. You should be able to maintain a nice, comfortable stretch while your breath stays full and consistent. We're going to do 2 more deep breaths. And then on your next exhale, you're going to come back up into Warrior Two, pausing for a moment. And then hands on your hips, pivot the back foot, step forward. So you're standing at the front of your mat. Okay, so we're gonna go into some tree pose. There's a couple variations on this depending on where your balance is, but we're gonna start on the left foot. So let's pick up all the toes on the left and then start with the pinky toe. See if you can connect one toe down at a time. Once your toes are down, just rock forward and back, left to right. Really feel that firm connection under every element of your foot. With your right foot, a couple options. Your toe can stay on the ground and your heel can come towards the inside edge of your ankle. If you're not sure on your balance or stability, this is a perfect option, and your hands can stay here or they can come to heart center. If you want the next step up, the foot comes to the inside edge of the calf. Or if you're comfortable, your balance is great and your flexibility allows for it, the foot can come all the way up in the inside of the thigh. The only spot I don't suggest your foot go is on the knee, because the kneecap doesn't usually like to move sideways. So either all the way up or on the calf. Hands can stay on the hip or they can come to heart center. And something that helps with balance is to find a drishti. This is a focal point. For me, it's a little discoloration on my flooring that I'm just focusing my vision in on and letting everything else float away. We're going to take one more breath. If you want to challenge your balance, you're going to follow me. If you need to put your foot down in between, that's absolutely fine. You can do that as well. So we're going to bring the hands first to the hips. Then we're going to let this foot rotate forward, keep the foot elevated, and then with our hips level, we're going to kick back into Warrior Three. I'm going to turn so you can see me from the side. So I was here, and the knee was here, and then I kicked back as I try and have space in my apartment. And so my leg, I'm thinking about space, length from the crown of my head going this way and my heel going back. I'm also trying to keep my hips square to the ground, so I don't want to rotate. If I rotate, I lose my balance. So try and stay level. If you're down here, that's fine too. Don't worry about it. You don't need to come all the way up. We're going to hold for 2 more breaths. And then on the next exhale, that foot is going to come down onto the ground, I don't know, about half a meter back. My heel is firmly onto the ground, and both feet are facing forward. And actually, that back toe is probably facing towards the edge, the corner of my mat. I'm in Warrior One, and we're going to inhale, bring the arms up, and exhale down. Depending your position, you can see I'm kind of like just inching my toes forward a little bit so I can get deeper into the stretch. What's important is that back foot is flat. So I'm stretching through the calf on that back foot. Let's take one more breath. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your hips. You're gonna come up on the toe and step forward. Okay, so let's shake that side out. We'll do the same sequence on the right. So just pick up the toes. We're gonna start with the pinky toe, drop it down all the way around, feel the connection onto the ground, kind of rock forward, back, left, right, make sure you're really centered. And then we're gonna go into tree pose on this side to start. So again, hands can be at heart center or they can be at your hips. Your foot can rotate out with the toe down. You can be on the edge of the calf, or you can bring it all the way up into the inner thigh. And you're finding your drishti point, something to focus your attention on. And then always go back to your breath. One more deep breath. Hands will return to your hips. Remember, you can put your foot down at any point, or if you want to transition with me, you're going to bring your knee forward, keep that foot elevated, keep the foot flexed, and then kick back into warrior three. And you can see I wobbled through that transition. That's fine. It's just firing up all your stabilizing muscles. There's nothing wrong with wobbling. There's nothing wrong with falling out of a pose. And also think about it just as a practice to work on your patience. Two more breaths. And then on your next exhale, the heel comes down. Both hips are forward towards the front of the mat. That back foot might not be exactly forward, it's just angled out a tiny bit. Front knee's bent. Inhale, rise the arms up. Exhale, bend that front knee. Keep the back heel connected. Two more breaths. Arms can come down to the hips, pivot or come up onto your toe on the back foot, and step forward to the front of the mat. Okay, we're gonna do one more standing pose before we make our way down onto the mat. We're gonna do eagle pose. So if you know this one, you're gonna step your feet a little bit closely together so the big toes are touching or almost touching. You're gonna inhale, bring the arms up. As you exhale, this right arm is gonna sweep underneath the left. So we're twisting. Two options. One, just grab your opposite shoulders. There's a nice stretch through the back. If you want to, you can intertwine the arms. So I don't know if you can see, opposite hand into the opposite fist. And then I'm gonna turn to the side. From here, this is kind of where your body might be. You wanna try and pull your elbows up. So now we're getting a nice stretch through the upper back. You can stay right here, sit down into the pose. If you want a more challenge, then as you sit down, your right foot is coming up and over. This is hard to talk and do and look in the camera. So my foot, it's just here hanging. I'm just pointing it towards my calf. Personally, I'm not flexible enough to get that foot tucked in behind. If you can go for it. Otherwise, here is fine. Here is fine too. Let's take a deep inhale, bring the arms up, away from the chest a little bit. Exhale, sit down and back. And then one more. And exhale. And then we'll come up into standing, unwind the feet, bend gently, bring the arms up and over, and then we're gonna do the other side. So exhale, left arm swings around, grabbing opposite palms or opposite shoulders. From here, we'll inhale, bring the elbows away from the chest, and as you exhale, the opposite foot, the left foot is coming up and over, maybe tucking, maybe just coming beside your shin. Two more breaths. And then next inhale, you can come up into standing, plant your feet, take an inhale, bend the knees a little bit, swing the arms up and over. And as you exhale, fold forward with a nice flat back all the way down to the ground. We're gonna pause in a forward fold. So two options, you can just stay in the forward fold and let your arms hang and be passive. If you want a little bit deeper stretch, let's do a gorilla pose. So we're gonna step our hands underneath our feet. So I'm putting my finger edge towards the back, towards my arch, and I'm aligning my toes up to the crease of my wrist. You can see I have a pretty good bend in my knees because I have tight hamstrings, so I need to allow that in order to get my hands under my feet. Once my hands are here, I'm pressing my body weight back into the toes,
and kind of massaging the meaty part of my hand. And then I'm going to take a deep inhale, and as I exhale, ever so slightly start to straighten my legs and deepen that stretch in the hamstring. We're going to do one more breath. And then we'll slowly bring one hand out and then the other. Staying in a forward fold at the moment, we're just going to heel toe our feet towards the edge of the mat, or maybe a little bit wider. And then we're slowly going to sink down into a wide squat. If that feels okay on your knees. If you can't get as low as me, no worries, go to where you can. I find if the feet go up pretty wide and then the toes are out, this does, believe it or not, become a comfortable resting pose. If you're okay here, you can rock back and forth, maybe a little bit of pressure into your elbows, into your knees to just open up those hips. If you've been sitting all morning, this will feel really good. So we're gonna look towards the ground. We're gonna place our hands down, and with our left foot, we're gonna step it all the way back and then drop the knee towards the ground. I'll come on the side. Okay, if you need to, you can double over your mat so you have a little bit more padding under that back foot. So my right foot is on the outside, my hands are on the inside edge. I'm gonna inhale and lengthen out the crown of my head, and then as I exhale, let my torso come down a little bit. Pausing to inhale and lengthen, and exhale, deepen into that stretch. Again, there's no right or wrong of how deep you go into the stretch. Up here might be a really great stretch for you, so just stay where it feels comfortable and consistent with your breath. And you may even come onto your forearms if you're pretty flexible and open through your hips. Okay, if you're down on your forearms, come back up onto your palms. Your back foot, you're gonna tuck that toe, and then this front hand that's towards my foot, I'm gonna step it around. So now I have one hand on each side of the foot, and then I'm gonna step forward into a forward fold, and we're gonna come down into the other side. So walk your feet out a little bit, both hands on the inside. Now we're gonna step the right foot all the way back. Left foot's out to the edge of the mat. Again, if you need to, double that up so it's a little bit softer on your knee. Untuck your back toe so your leg is long. Inhale through the crown of your head. Exhale as you come down. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, down. One more deep breath. If you're down on your forearms, come back up onto your palms. We're gonna tuck that back foot. We're gonna bring this front hand around to that side of, so one hand is on each side of that front foot. Ooh, get that mat out. Okay, we're gonna step back into down dog. So hips high, pedal the heels. We're gonna transition into pigeon. I'm gonna show it to you. If pigeon doesn't work for you, I'll give you an alternate. So right foot's gonna go up towards the ceiling. Bring your right knee towards your right wrist. And then you're gonna, this is a hard one to show. There, that's better. Right knee towards right wrist, and then my leg is coming across on a diagonal. My left leg, I have the toe untucked. I'm glancing back to make sure I'm in a nice long line. I'm gonna inhale through the crown of the head, and exhale, come down onto my forearms. Either stack my fists, stack my palms, something to support my forehead. If that pigeon pose doesn't work for you, alternate, which a lot of people find easier, is the threading the needle pose. So your ankle comes onto the opposite knee, and then you reach around and behind and grab the back of the thigh and relax down. So it's the same muscle area that we're stretching without the twisting, pretzeling, and intensity that's in pigeon. So you can choose what option you prefer. If you're in pigeon and you're down, your head is rested onto your hands, slowly come up into your forearms and then bring yourself up into your palms. You're gonna untuck that back foot so that your knee's lifted, and we're gonna create pressure through that foot so you can step back into down dog. Pedal through your heels. Now we'll switch to the other side. Left foot up high, left knee to left wrist. Untuck the back foot. Glance over your shoulder, make sure it's straight back. Lengthen up through the crown of your head, and then let your torso come down towards the ground. If you were doing threading the needle, obviously you're just switching to the other side. If you're down on your forearms, you're gonna gently come up onto your palms, tuck your back toe, bring that knee up. We're gonna go into down dog just for one last stretch, and then we're gonna meet in child's pose. So if down dog doesn't work, just go straight into child's pose. One last pedal of the heels. I like to bend my knees and push back and then raise the hips up high. Stretch through the back. And then knees down. Down into child's pose just for a breath or two. And then we're gonna come onto our back. One last pose before we go into Shavasana. So we did so much hip opening today because I feel like everyone's sitting a lot, working from home, watching TV. We're not getting as much movement as we probably would have. We're gonna do butterfly, and then we'll do Shavasana. So soles of the feet together. You're gonna lie back and down. Same as the other day, you can have your hands on the side, open up towards the sky, the ceiling. You can place your hands onto your abdomen, focus on your breath, or you can place them overhead. Chest opener is really nice, grabbing opposite wrist. Whatever variation, let's go back to the breath. Nice full deep breaths and complete exhales. If this feels like a really restful pose for you, you're welcome to stay here. Most people, it's still a pretty intense stretch, so I would recommend extending the legs long into full Shavasana so the feet are falling open to the outside. Your palms are up towards the sky, the ceiling. So you can inhale and bring your shoulders up and then let them float down towards the ground as you exhale. And just feel completely supported from the earth beneath you. Take a breath or two and settle in. You can start to bring a little bit of movement back into your body. Start with your toes and your fingers. Give them a little wiggle, maybe rotate them in each direction a few times. Open and close your mouth and rock your head from side to side. A few shoulder circles or shrugs, and whatever, stretches your body is craving. If you want to reach your arms up and overhead, take a few deep breaths and sighs, and then when you are ready, make your way into a fetal position and then come up into a comfortable seated position. So in a comfortable position, we're going to close our eyes if they're not already closed. Hands can be onto your knees, they can be at heart center. Bow your head slightly, and we're going to go back to the beginning when I encourage you to think about things that you're grateful for. We're just going to reinforce those images in our brain with 5 deep breaths. So let's exhale all of the oxygen out of our lungs, feel the belly deflate, and then deep inhale. Thank you all for practicing yoga with me, for taking some time out of your busy days to focus on yourself and your breath and things that we truly do have to be grateful for. I really appreciate you. Namaste. So, a couple things. If you enjoyed that yoga class, please share it. This is the last free one I'm doing, but I'd still love as many people as possible to utilize it. If you want to join my online community, I'm going to post a link on Facebook and a link on Instagram with all the details. Please feel free to send me a message. It's only $79 if you sign up by the end of the month. You get access to 6 live workouts plus all the recordings, so you can do it when it works for you. But I'm going to tell you, it's going to be fun to do it together. And you also get yoga on the weekend on Saturdays at 10 a.m. And also the video as well, if you can't make that time. We're gonna find a way to connect and create a little fitness community together. And I would love to have a little bit of your time in your living room and have you join me. If it's not interesting to you, you can always use my free videos. There's 4 workouts, 2 yogas. Please revisit them as much as you like. And share and encourage others to join, because I think it'd be really cool if we get an awesome group together who are just committed to finding a little bit of sanity in this chaos. Okay, enjoy your Tuesday, guys. Thanks for joining me.